These are the top 5 players in every single position in FC 25. I'm not going to hold you. It's not coming in with some discount shopping. It's going to be pricey. That said, if you want me to do a budgeted version, like the video and then put in the comments, what should the budget be? As for the goalkeepers, and this is coming in quick fire, it's going to be spicy. We got Van der Sar. Not a surprise, reliable as they come. Prime with the mittens, the gloves. Winter season, it's coming soon. Casillas, the instant rush out. As it stands, we might see a patch, but goalkeepers cutting down the distance, and you're not going to ball roll them. Forget about it. Thibaut Courtois, the rating supported the body type. He'll probably always be in this conversation. There are a couple icons I haven't seen in motion enough to discuss further as a disclaimer. Ederson, usually not in the top 5, but with long ball as a playstyle plus and what you can do with that out of the back, I think it's a nice little extra touch. And then Buffon, into motion, new icon, and I am still highly upset. How do we have 2 new goalkeeper icons with Buffon and Nadine Angerer, and she's higher rated than Buffon, perhaps the greatest of all time? I'm feeling secondary disrespect. When we're talking about left backs, first off the list, off the docket, Roberto Carlos. Brazilian and fullbacks, they go together like a turkey and Swiss. Teo Hernandez, if you can afford the inform, by all means, or you can grab the normal version. Even his gold item is going to be some serious pocketbooks. You get a price check, but 95 plus 95 equals 95. Ferland Mendy, elite at an 84, and I would argue he is potentially the most overpowered player we have ever seen in any FC or FIFA installment over multiple years. When you talk about rating to output to longevity, remarkable. DeMarco could be a sleeper choice. Does not have defensive play style, so I don't love that. Playing proper, greens everywhere. And I'm not basing this on potential, but he could upgrade. Last but not least, we have Bichente. The Frenchman could also go under the radar. Does not have the same hype, therefore the price tag is not necessarily unreasonable, and he's going to give you a baguette of opportunities. Might have forced that into this description. Other side of the pitch, we have the right backs. Zambrata, even at 86, the man is good to go on the flip. You can play him as a left back or right back. I like what he has to offer. A 5-star weak foot, consistent. There's continuity. At this point of the game, 2 thumbs up. New icon, Thuram, 88 overall, 5 of the 6 defensive play styles. You might prefer him as a center back, but he has that natural right back positioning, which is something that I took into the equation with making these lists. Is I want to give you roles in those positions. Did I mention Brazilians? Cafu, give it to me. Relentless Travellas. I've seen him on the magazines, the newspapers, and all over the weekend league. Let's continue the theme. Carlos Alberto. Anticipate on a playstyle plus is nasty work in a good way. And while we're on the trend, give me Maicon, new hero, 88 overall, likely to continually get some sort of upgrades or new items. He's been noticeable when I've gone up against him, when I've used him. Just a good overall addition. Let's talk center backs. These gentlemen are holding it down, leading your back line. High rated, expectation, one of the greatest center backs of all time. I still believe that EA has something against him. He should be leaps above the competition, and he's not. And I don't know why they gave him a slide tackle as his playstyle plus when I think of Maldini's game. His anticipation, interceptions, reading of the game. Just brilliant. Virgil van Dijk, go for the 91. It's going to cost you some extra helpings, or you can go for the gold version. Ariel on a playstyle plus, 6'4". You can see why this is going to work, and you get that auto recovery in general with defender. Next, the man with the aura. I've got Lucio. Similar to what we've seen each year since his introduction. Covers unlimited ground. Will be prepped to lead your back line. Rudiger. A much cheaper option than anyone before mentioned. Sort of a demon of a center back. You just saw foot champs. You went up against a bunch of Rudigers. And selfishly, and maybe even more generously, I did want at least one player that was relatively affordable compared to some of the competitors in this position. Rudiger's not going to break the bank. Rio Ferdinand, anticipate on the playstyle plus, bruiser, jockey, slide tackle, aerial. He's what you expect him to be, and that's good money. Moving into the center mids or the center defensive mids, I've linked this category together. Ruud Gullit, elephant in the room. He's an intimidator. He's ball hawking everywhere in the middies, relentless, mercy not given. He's a gladiator. Russell Crowe Gullit. Zinedine Zidane, 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, incisive on a playstyle plus, long ball, Travella, finesse. The stats are statting, but you're going to have to pay that upcharge to have him in your lineup. Jude Bellingham, a little more mixed review this year in general. You would think at a 90 overall, he'd be more expensive, but does quite a few different midfield options. He has the relentless plus, but you're still cozy like a well-lived-in sectional when he's on the ball, and there's a certain cadence. Another standard gold, Mateus. She's been doing things. Part of that Barcelona women's squad that's going back-to-back since the introduction or the campaign. They're going to be impactful start to finish within the ecosystem. And lastly, I threw Patrick Vieira on this, but I don't think it's going to be his best year, but in that stopper role, when you have someone sitting on top of the defense, you are not breaking down Patrick Vieira. He's a lockup. Throw away the key. Forget about it. Not biting on nothing. Center attacking midfielders. And I wanted a separate category, and I will remind you, these players are natural center attacking midfielders. Talking about roles. Makes a difference. Pele. Technical plus. Genuinely, I just think he's amazing. And he's part of those icons every year that are guaranteed. There's not really a flex. It doesn't matter about the gameplay. He should always be in the equation, and he is, as one of the best players in the game. Johan Cruyff, and you can't deny the Cruyff turns. 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Passing is on easy street. He's got the vision. Prefer him as a cam to other positions for yours truly. If you're going English, you got Bobby Charlton, who I don't believe is slept on, but maybe doesn't get the recognition he probably deserves. People forget that he's a dime-dropping machine. He's got that precision. Zico, I love him. Adds to the offense in basically all squads. He's also solid as a center mid secondary if you wanted some versatility. If you have multiple roles that you're trying to slot into, he can give you a little more of a dynamic feel where you don't have a complete fall off, because his defensive notion or motion or positioning, it's not terrible. It's not going to go above and beyond, but it's enough. And we have the return of Kaká. I'm talking proper best year that he's ever had, and any installment off the gate or out the gate. Rapid for a playstyle plus. The price tag also supports what I'm saying. He's got the bigger body type, but there's the agility and the margin of separation. I would highly recommend, if you are a fan of Kaká, this is the year that if you spend the money, you're going to get a special player controlling your attack. Right wingers. I mean, there's quite a selection. Jairzinho, true winger. Rapid plus, 5-star skills, Brazilian track record, better than he was last year. And you can intertwine quite a few different wingers. We know there's going to be upgrades. It's a position that's crucial to the attack. New icon, Gareth Bale. Not a nice price tag. I think you're overpaying, but the output is still heavy, and people also forget that he's 6'1" with the build out. All that pace, but he's still got a body to him. He can move a center back. He can move a full back. He can make people a little more uncomfortable in some of those 50-50s. Georgie Best with the bowl cut. Responsiveness you couldn't believe. Better than a Fios on a low ping, or having low ping while using Fios throughout a weekend league. Competitive advantage. Garrincha making another return. Technical plus on a Brazilian should honestly be a cheat code. And to round us out, we've got Hansen. This is her show. She's the chef. She's cooking up. Whether you want an appetizer or the main dish, even something extra for dessert, Hansen has the total package. As for left wingers, and maybe an early spoiler or a preview, one of these names, it's going to be a surprise. But we're starting out with a household with Dino, who I just met and had the pleasure to do a bit of an interview at launch in New York City. My hands have been blessed this year. Vinny Jr., if you can get the inform, go for it. Otherwise, you've got the 90 overall. You're going to pay hefty tags. Speed boost is on at all times. The way that he explodes, you can't stay in front of him. At some points, Vinny is outrunning his own shadow at this point. Ginola, you knew this was coming. Technical plus, it's a nice addition. If you see him, you understand what kind of rat-tastic game you're in for. You will be praying for help on the defensive end. Franck Ribéry, footwork crazier than a new shop at your local mall. Do you guys have Champs, Foot Locker, Famous Footwear, Jimmy Jazz, Concepts, Kith? Hashtag organics, you can list it. Those are probably high-key American references. And what about Neymar? You're getting a discount shopping price tag for the deliverables. I love him this year. Not the easiest to link. I know Saudi League, but I would put his dribbling up against anyone in the game, any category, any position. I wouldn't feel right if I left him off this list because I've been using him so much. Which brings us to the strikers and some household names. R9. Grass is green, the sky is blue, R9 will ruin your weekend. You don't even need to improve at the game if you have R9. he'll do the rest for you. But the reality is most of us will never see him on our teams unless it's a loan. Mbappe, next level impact. From a gold rare perspective, through the roof. Highest priced player in the game off a standard rating before upgrades or icon status or heroes. And we've never seen an attacker in this shadow realm. Mbappe is giving you Mortal Kombat fatality level of finishing. Can I get it organics? Mia Hamm, double 5-star. She's basically a created player with moves like Jagger. Eusebio, sweat personified. You're walking out the shower and straight into the steam room. You're doubling up. You're burning calories like never before. And I've slotted Henry into the top 5 strikers. Could be a little more controversial. We'll see as time goes on, but he's got some new movement and some new momentum. I've got a theory that since Henry joined or embraced being a pundit, his item keeps improving. These are my top 5 players from each and every position. If you have questions about any other players or suggestions, I will run through those comments. And if you'd like us to put together a secondary video with a budget, you know what to do. And I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.